the space is terrible. Because if you look at the T-bill before was about 30%, now dropped to 15%. And if the cost of funds are very high, if you take the loan, it will be difficult for you to pay. And that's why we want to make life so easy for Ghanaians. Drop the interest rate and they will be able to pay. Because you take the money to do business, and that business must be able to generate a lot of income for you to pay. And I believe that we are almost there.
On interest rates, I've been looking at the West African market, and recently you announced your entry into, is it Sierra Leone or Liberia, to help manage one of the banks in the, which country is that?
Yeah, so currently we are helping Liberia Bank for Investment, for Development and Investment, and then Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, providing them with a technical expertise.
Yes, and I'm looking at some of the numbers, and your entry alone is causing some changes in the space, interest rates dropping, and all that. The general conversation about interest rates, really, how do we approach it as a country?
Yeah, so when in Sierra Leone, when I went there, the interest rate was 41%. I met the Minister of Finance and the Vice President, and they listened. So last week when we signed the agreement, they told me, Ben, the interest rate has dropped to 21%. Yes. See, the issue is that if you don't make conscious effort, the economy will drive you crazy. You have to make a conscious effort on the part of the government that, look, we need to drop this rate. Physical discipline is key. If you discipline, you don't need to spend so much. If you are not spending so much, you don't need to go and borrow. If you are not borrowing, and the people, they have the excess money, you push them down, and then the rate will drop.
So your presence has given the industry enough confidence and the government enough strength and drive, and it's resulted in a drop of interest rates from 41 to 20 something.
You know, the Sierra Leone Commercial Bank is the largest bank in the country.
Okay.
And the other bank that they have, they were from the sub-region. And they are also like what is happening in this country, where they just put the money in government bills. So they are happy when the interest rate is going up. And therefore, the central bank and then the Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, they must make a conscious effort that, look, we are not here for that. Drop the rate.
Okay. So do I get the impression that, what's currently happening now that the treasury bill rate's not very high, 15, would actually get banks to get into banking and look out for these customers, give them loans by offering them competitive rates, drop the rates?
Yes, so if you are making fortune in the government treasury bills, now before you were getting about 30%, they drop the rate, let's say about 10%. What will you do? You have to create a loan, and that will help to drive the economy. So when the rate is high, the banks, they are comfortable. They take the deposit and just put it in government treasury bills, and they relax. But if the rate is low, you'll be forced to give loan, and that is your core mandate as a financial institution.
And so finally, before we wrap it all up, because I know you have to go for a meeting also. So a country like Ghana, based on everything that we're doing, what interest rate do you think would help drive the economy?
I strongly believe there are three things actually. Interest rates, exchange rates, and then if you discipline, inflation. If we can look at these three things, we are good to go as a country.
Currently, we have interest rates of more than 20%.
Yes, so interest rates are about 15%. So that is now pushing the banks moving. You realize that they are now looking for customers. Those that are into government treasury bills, you'll be forced to look for customers. So there will be competition for rates. I give 18, somebody will come and say, I will give you 15. And that is going to happen. And the government must make conscious effort to drive the banks to do the needful.
Wow. Dr. Benjamin Joboku, anything you want to say finally as we look into the future for Republic Bank?
Yes, I just want the listeners to...
Yes, go ahead.
The listeners to come to Republic Bank. We are the only bank with 4 credit cards. Before, a credit card was just for the prestige, the rich in society. But we brought it, even salary workers, you have a credit card for 45 days without interest. So come to Republic Bank.
Kujo is happy.
Anna boy is not a shit.
Yes, go ahead, Doc.
Yes, so if you want to take mortgage, whereby you also have a sinking fund to pay your loan, come to Republic Bank. If you are operating in the market, look for Republic Bank. We are the right partner to make sure that your business drive and grow. As your business is growing, Republic Bank is also growing. So let's grow together and let's grow Mother Ghana.